Welcome to episode 9 of the Bloc to Block podcast, the best podcast in the world for all things Web3. Here we break down the technology, what's going on in the market, and the ways in which you can benefit. I am the Miami Mamadou.
And I am the Web3 Wayne.
And over here, the talk is different.
Always.
Now let's stop the pod.
Yeah.
Derek, how you feeling, baby?
Hey, man, feeling good, man. Feeling good. Hey, first time we doing podcast together live in person.
Whew.
Man, it's a beautiful thing. And we get to do it in sunny Miami. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
How you feeling?
Man, I might change my name to Miami, dude.
Nah.
You know what I mean, man? The vibes is here. The drip is on.
Yes, sir.
We got the floral set with the Biggie Smalls.
You know
Notorious B.I.G.
Shout out to the greatest.
That's one of my favorite rappers.
Same, bro. Grew up on it. That's crazy. Are we getting an Amber Alert right now?
Right.
A tornado warning? Mid-podcast? Crazy.
You never know what's happening on Block to Block.
Never know.
Man, it is an Amber Alert. So, hopefully, that situation gets resolved.
That was an alert to let y'all know. Relink is in Miami, taking over Miami. It's going down. We out here for Black Men Talk Tech. Love to see it. Look. Keep going. It keeps going. It's crazy. We probably shouldn't commandeer the Amber Alert sound.
That's why I was like, listen, a lot of people are getting canceled nowadays. I'm not trying to be one of them.
You're right. It was all jokes. Trying to make an awkward moment unawkward. I don't think that's a word, but that's what we were trying to do. So,
Oh man. But yeah. So shout out to Black Men Talk Tech.
Yes, sir.
We're here for the Unicorn Ambition conference. And so first of all, Black Men Talk Tech is an organization in which they really converge like Black tech professionals, founders, and investors in like the same space in which all of whom can like collaborate and really work on building something great. And the purpose of the Unicorn Ambition is to give people the tool set to build the next unicorn company. And if you don't know, a unicorn is just a company that's valued at $1 billion or greater.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, we definitely had to be a part of the conversation.
I mean, it's only right. I mean, look, with what's been going on, it's been an amazing journey.
Mm-hmm.
We've come a long way. We were actually at Black Women Talk Tech back in June, and that was a beautiful event. So we thought it was only right for us to show up and show out for Black Men Talk Tech as well.
Absolutely.
So excited for this weekend, man. It's gonna be a vibe for sure.
Oh, facts.
It's gonna be a vibe.
Facts. And actually, speaking of long journeys, we just had our first successful activation, the first ever physical NFT art show out in DC, the Patrick Henry Mr. Out the Frame Weekend Experience, baby. It is done.
Sir.
It is over. It was lit. We did 3 days actually. The weekend, that Friday and a Saturday.
Yep, weekend experience. Yes,
right.
sir. Yes,
that was open to the public. And then we did like a private, low-key, y'all ain't know about it, situation with the Kappas that following yesterday.
Physical NFT fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we putting it on the map, man. It was great. It was definitely, Friday opening night. It was amazing seeing all the beautiful faces there.
Oh, yeah.
And then Saturday having the open studio. So we actually had the event at the 52 O Street Studios out in Washington, D.C. If you don't know, it is a studio space or a building space that consists of multiple studios. So on that day, those studios were open to the public. You can come through and look at the different studios and the artists and their artworks. So we were blessed to be a part of that as well as have a Greek night with the AKAs and the Alphas. That was a lot of fun. Shout out to them for working with us. Also shout out to them because they are actually getting ready for their step show that's coming up tomorrow.
Facts.
Tomorrow, right? So they're looking to take home that trophy. Nothing against my other Divine Nines.
Only one though, Ken. It's not.
I thought it's there's a sorority one and a fraternity one. I think
they made it seem like it was only one.
Ooh, man.
Because when I was talking, they was like, "Oh, we're gonna win."
Oh, look, so, I mean, if that's the
no
case,
smoke.
they got steep competition. Because look, the AKAs, they was on it. They was like, look, we can't do this today because we gotta practice and get another practice. I'm like, okay, y'all doing it. And
shoot,
the alphas was also, man, Saturdays, Sundays. It's serious.
I was
it's
like,
serious.
dang, we talking about practice.
Look, so shout out to the AKAs and the alphas of Howard University. Shout out to Howard. It's their homecoming weekend. You know, we're sad we had to miss that. But of course, you know, we out here in Miami, out here with Miami do. So it is what it is. It is what it is.
What it is. And since we're shouting out folk, you know, let's get the shout outs out the way. You know, I wrote a list so people don't get mad. First of all, shout out to Patrick Henry, the artist, the innovative artist who made these 3D art pieces on wood. So actually check out our Instagram at Relink Global, because we had like a reel, like just a highlight reel, just like the entire weekend experience, man.
Yeah, and make sure to check him out at Patrick Henry Arts.
Yep. And
he has a website as well, patrickhenryarts.com, which he'll have to update because we got some of them pieces sold this weekend and this past week. So
we gotta
look, I'm telling you, if you haven't heard about Patrick, you need to get on it. Up and coming.
And that means you haven't been watching Bloc to Bloc. So do yourself a favor, like, comment, subscribe, and share with your loved ones. Now, but shout out to Patrick once again. Shout out to Amir, the gallery owner for HOMME DC Gallery. He was great to work with, man.
Yes.
Really good, solid dude. Shout out to the This Is Good Water team. So they were our sponsor for the event. They gave us 4 crates of their luxury water. Man, they're really dope. Actually, we had a Relink roundtable back on our Instagram with one of the team members, Ty Brown. Really, really dope, brother. Really good, man. Like, shout out to them. They really showed out.
Yes, sir.
And the water was fire, too.
Man, the water, some good water.
It was
some good water.
It was some good water. My girl was telling me that I had to buy her a crate now.
So y'all know, straight from the spring, so you can't really beat that. That's all I'm saying.
And speaking of my girl, shout out to Ify, the official stylist consultant for Relink. She's always having this dripped out, so shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to Kayla as well, our social media consultant. It's my girlfriend, and you know, wouldn't be able to put this on without her. So special shout out to Ify and Kayla.
Right. Shout out to the Relink ladies.
Yes.
Shout out to our videographer Mo. Man, like that boy is fire, man.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to that brother.
And more to come too. So y'all definitely follow us on IG at Relink Global, and definitely look out because Mo next up for sure.
For sure, man. And most importantly, shout out to all of you who attended, who supported this event, the first ever activation. And for us, it's the first of many to come.
Yes, sir.
Because 2023, y'all finna get sick of us, man. We're gonna be everywhere, boy. We're gonna be outside.
Real.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what did you think about the event, right? After sitting here on the opposite side of it, right? For those that don't know, we've been working on this event for, I would say, somewhere between 4 to 6 months now. You know, we initially approached Patrick, we approached Amir, and you know, we had this idea to bring an art show together around NFTs and this new technology, and bring this physical NFT thing to the people. So it was beautiful to be able to execute on that. So you know, what are your feelings on the other side of it?
Man, objectively speaking, it was definitely a vibe, and it was very innovative because for us, right, you know, the main reason why we have the Bloc to Bloc podcast, the best podcast in the world, make sure you subscribe, is because we really want to demystify Web3 technology, because this technology is very instrumental, and it will and has been revolutionizing industries, right?
Yeah.
And so for us, we want the people and the culture to be able to feel comfortable enough to use the technology. You don't have to understand into the complete technicals, right?
Right.
But you have to understanding enough to be able to see like, okay, this is how I can use tech, because technology is just a tool at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So for us and for me, it was definitely very beneficial to be able to like speak with people one to one and just really see people's different levels of understanding. We have folks there who didn't know anything about NFTs whatsoever. We have some folks who've been trying to study it a little bit on their own, but still had some questions. And in every single conversation from when we spoke during our little speech portion to our individual conversations, the light bulbs went off like that. People was like, "Oh, I get it now."
Yeah.
Like,
right.
And they was asking us even more detailed type questions, like, "Okay, well, how could this impact this type of industry? Like insurance companies, shouldn't they be using this type of tech?" Like we was having these light bulb type moments, which is what, I mean, we know you as the viewers, you experience that every single day that you watch us, but to talk with people who weren't familiar with us, it was definitely impactful. It was very inspirational, because I'm like, man, we got to do this more, bigger and better.
No, for sure. I mean, I feel that, I think it's one thing when, we're just releasing the videos and, we're going live and we're releasing content, but it's a different animal, different beast when you're able to sit down in front of somebody and, they're asking you these questions and they're challenging you, right? They challenged us. They were like, this still doesn't make sense. And, us having to go deeper and even at some points kind of pull back and be like, all right, like, let's take this. And this was the beautiful thing about it. Let's take this art show, right? And what we're doing here and let's bring it to something that's tangible in front of us. And so it was beautiful to see, people of all age ranges, people who have all different skill levels, all different backgrounds, even talking with the artists, right? Like the artists coming through and saying, what's this thing? And, we having those conversations with them and us talking about the royalties that they can make and, how they can connect with their collectors and their community. And for them, it was like, oh, I mean, that's like our thing. That's what we need. So I thought that was beautiful to be able to, like you said, talk with them in person, get that immediate feedback, really like not like we was holding people hostage, but you don't let them walk away. It's my bike now. But really like having that conversation until they were like, you know what, I at least understand. And something that caught my attention is, we were kind of having the conversations throughout, but after we had the speech and we fully talked about like what we're doing and our mission, people were coming up to us and saying, hey, like I bought a painting, like I want to, make sure we get together, get to NFTs. We weren't able to provide it then and there on the spot, but we are working with them to, kind of concierge service, working to do a complete setup for them. Because, again, we know it's nascent, we know it's different. And, we're doing something that's even more different from what's normally been done. So it was, I felt like that, you made a great point and that was beautiful to see, that piece of it.
Facts, absolutely. Yeah, so once again, like, we're definitely doing this for the culture. We are looking for even more partners to work with. Nonetheless, like we're gonna have a lot of events. Y'all don't even. Y'all like, well, how many events? Like 3, 2, 5?
2023 gonna be different.
The talk is different. The activations is different. The drip is different. Everything is different, baby.
It's different. We over here looking like we sell cocaine and 60s in Miami,
Don't get us demonetized.
Oh, I mean, cacao, chocolate, chocolate.
Feds is watching.
But nah, man. I think it's important too to talk a little bit about Timbuktu and how that ties into Timbuktu, right? Like our 3 C's, we often talk about culture, community, and commerce, that being the linchpin of Timbuktu and what we do. And we really got to, give that to the people within the activations, right? The culture being the artwork, being the Kappas, the AKAs, the Alphas, the culture being, just being immersed within the
that
art
creative
world.
space.
And
Yeah,
like that was really different. It was beautiful to see.
Yeah. And then just seeing that community as well, right? Like from these different like culture makers, right? Like from the Divine Nine to the art community to like all types of people that just love and appreciate the creative fine arts, right? Yeah. And people of all different backgrounds as well. Like I was talking to my one homie, he's working at AWS, like tech company, right? Other people who were like working in government, some people who were working within like the nonprofit space, all types of different writers as well. Like people who you may not even assume will appreciate it. All a part of this one singular community that appreciate the arts. And then you want to talk about commerce?
Hey man, listen, it was a beautiful thing. I think one of the most important things in our mission, right? We talk about the culture and community, and then we get to commerce. And the reason that we find that that's important too is artists, culture makers, entrepreneurs deserve to benefit from that work, right? That culture that they create, the culture that's so important to all of us, really, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was great to not only bring people together around this, but also to spotlight an artist, right? Put them in a position to make some money, make some cash, right? And we were able to do that. We were able to get art pieces sold for Patrick Henry. And to be honest, Pat, he is big time and only getting bigger. So it was a beautiful thing to be a part of his upward trajectory. And this is our first time doing the art show. So
our first event, period.
So it was different seeing how this art sale happens, right? To better understand what draws people in, what are the conversations that are had, and what goes into making that sale. So I thought it was also, we talk about commerce, just all the pieces that goes into it. And how those first two C's tie into that last one.
Definitely. And like the last thing I'll say about this too was just what really made me happy was the opportunity that we was able to help create together in this collaboration. Because Patrick is becoming even bigger and bigger in New Orleans, right? Like his work has been seen on shows like Queen Sugar. He's been like working with major corporations, seen at all types of festivals. However, this was his first show out of town.
Right, outside of Louisiana.
To go outside of Louisiana, and shout out to Patrick and to his business manager, Mike. They drove up 15 hours to DC.
16.
He
had a show Thursday night. Left New Orleans that night, drove up to DC for that weekend to come to the show.
And to be at a point where it was just an overall dope vibe. Like everybody was appreciating his work, and he was able to monetize from that too. And go home with after he was crunching up the numbers, what looks to be a pretty penny. Like that to me was like one of the most impactful things. And we definitely have to post his speech, man, because like hearing about his background, back from Jamaica to coming to the States and really honing his craft as an artist, powerful.
And finding his lane. It was, we'll definitely, you guys gonna have to give us a follow and be ready for that video. But hearing how he went through his process, it was inspiring.
Most definitely.
It was inspiring.
Most definitely. So yeah, once again, we appreciate everybody who supported us. Once again, way more activations to come all 2023. So stay tuned and don't miss out on history.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So with that, I think it's time to get into some of the market news.
Let's do it. What's going on in the market? Miami do? What we got?
Man, so hey, it's appropriate that we're in Miami, tropical type climate.
Right.
Me personally, I love all my tropical type fruits like mangoes, right?
Absolutely.
But one company called Mango Market is not doing too hot right now.
What's going on with Mango Market? Let the people know.
So Mango Market is in the process of refunding to their customers over 114 million in crypto assets.
114 million?
Million.
Man, okay. How did that happen? I think the people need to know how in the HE double hockey stick is Mango Market, like how are they customers out of 114 mil? That don't even make sense.
Man, the Web3 world, the world of Web3 is very, very interesting, for lack of a better term. So Mango Market is a DeFi exchange, right, on the Solana blockchain. So similar to like all these other crypto exchanges like a Coinbase or a Binance, right? And earlier in this month, a group of hackers stole over 114 million, or at the time 117 million, but the price fluctuation brought it down to 114 million of crypto assets, specifically the native token, the MEGO, the Mango token. So what these hackers did were they manipulated the price of the token. So at the time, Mango's cryptocurrency was worth a little under 4 cents, 0.038 at the time, right? They were able to, compromise a protocol or a program that Mango was using, and increase that price to 91 cents. Wow. And so once they increased the price to 91 cents, they then took like collateral or like loans against that and was like, hey, I need like, for example, 70% out. And they was able to take over millions.
I mean, they had 114. You said it was 117 at that time. So
exactly. So through the price manipulation and compromising the protocol that Mango was using at the time, they were able to like steal all these crypto assets. And wait, there's more. Because the key term for this story is the audacity. So not only did these hackers steal all of this crypto from Mango, they was holding it hostage, bro.
Wait, hold on. What you mean it was holding it? How do you hold crypto hostage? Like, give me my money, bro. Give me my money.
So get this. So the hackers, they put it to a vote. They came out and said, hey, we took the crypto, but hear us out. Wait, hear us out. We will give back, we'll keep 70 million of it, and we give back the rest to you only if you agree not to pursue criminal charges. And what they did was they put it to a vote. So for those who may not be familiar, in a lot of these different Web3 communities, a lot of times the token, which could be like a cryptocurrency, a governance token, a utility token, what have you, is used not only as a medium of exchange, but also as a means to vote.
Right.
And so what these hackers did, mind you, they took all of this crypto and they said, all right, hear us out. This proposal of us giving you back some of your bread and not pursuing criminal charges, we're going to put it to a vote. So they set up the voting mechanism, and then, of course, it got approved that that's the approach they're going to be doing.
Wow.
And so they actually came out and said they gave back like 67 million of the tokens.
But it's still another 40, 50 million that's still out there. Like
basically they're stealing, right? And so, but as of today, some of that crypto has been returned, and Mango Markets, it's they're finding the ways to like kind of refund the customers, right?
Okay.
And so overall, within the last couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of key things. We've seen cybersecurity attacks. We've seen, customers being screwed over and not being in a position for these large exchanges to easily refund you back your money. Because that's the thing about Web3.
Man, it seems like it's such a cautionary tale, man. Of course, we're Web3 podcast. This is what we cover, and we are optimistic about it, right? But it's very much a cautionary tale. That story just tells you got to be cautiously optimistic. You have to know that there are vulnerabilities when you're investing into these projects. Also, what story is that to say, look, not only am I going to take your money, but I'm going to wave it in front of you. I'm going to, just
hear me out. I'll give back some of it.
And then we'll vote on it. And I got all the votes. That sounds like a dictatorship over my money. Man, listen.
That's not decentralization.
At all.
Man.
At all.
So,
and, I think it, it speaks to the need for regulation when it comes to Web3. And I know, regulation sounds like the boogeyman is coming.
The
government. But what it does is, one, it protects the people, it protects the investors, protects people who are putting money into these exchanges, into these projects. And two, it gives guidance and guidelines to what is right and what isn't right. Mm-hmm. It helps those like us who are building in Web3 to say, hey, I can put this project together without the fear of, being penalized, or the fear of, possibly going to jail if, it gets to that point. So it's interesting times, to say the least.
Now, for those who are watching, here are the practical things that you can do.
Okay.
First of all, it's a advice from episode 8, because we covered the same thing with like Binance, which is the largest crypto exchange, who lost over $500 billion of crypto assets, right? So the biggest thing is, hey, one, definitely do your due diligence when it comes to these exchanges, but realize, in this era that we're living in, outside of just Web3, just in general, cyber attacks and cybersecurity is a huge thing within the world of technology. And, when you have these organizations like these exchanges where they have all this crypto, the hackers are going to try to hack and steal the money. So what you need to do is you can still use them to get your crypto or whatnot, but have at the very least, a non-custodial wallet, meaning you are holding your own crypto in your own wallet, which no one else has access to. And if you want to take a step higher, use a cold wallet, those hardware wallets where everything is offline.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, make sure you protect yourself and you protect your assets.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to add on to that, you might even want to put some of your crypto in that non-custodial internet wallet, and then, have a reserve in your hard wallet that nobody can touch. If something happens, it's okay, because I have a little bit of money tucked away, so it's always good to, move money around, have money in different places.
Absolutely. So with that,
yes, sir.
I believe you owe the people, especially since you wasn't here last week.
I wasn't here last week. Oh man, and Mamadou is on me about that. He was very appalled that,
disgusted.
I was like, why don't you bring in a dope guest, right? Whose idea is that? I'm just throwing it out there. Dope guest to switch it up on the people. Let them hear about how they can get into Web3 as a developer. Why not give the people something a little bit different, something tangible that they can work with? And I thought it was a great episode. I actually was able to tune in, listen in. Man, if you didn't see last week's episode, if you are interested in Web3, getting into Web3 development, even, a product management type standpoint, you just want to maybe start understanding Web3, go check out last week's episode. Sean was dropping gems. And, we want to continue that conversation. So we've seen in 2022 the biggest increase of development activity in Web3, right? So from Web3 libraries like Ether.js, Web3.js, they're providing tools for people to build projects in Web3. And if you don't know, when it comes to development, it was already trending towards more open source, more so that collaborative type environment. And in Web3, that's only, expedited that community and the way that community thinks about development. Because for Web3, we're in such an early stage that right now, everybody who is, wanting to get into development and who is building is trying to work together, right? If one person wins, the whole community wins. So it's a great time to get into Web3 development. And a lot of people are heeding that. A lot of people are actually, participating and growing that Web3 development economy and community. So we've seen, like, back in 2018, there were 146,000 developers on a weekly basis, right? So now we're at 1.5 million. 1.5 million. That is a 10x increase over 4 to 5 years, right? Like, that is where the trend is going. And was actually watching a speech earlier from Kevin O'Leary. If you don't know who that is, probably seen Shark Tank.
Mr.
Wonderful from Shark Tank. And he was talking about it. He was talking about how he teaches classes at MIT and, these top engineering schools. And he was saying, a lot of them are entrepreneurial minded, and they're not saying they want to go into some manufacturing job or, they want to go into Wall Street. No, they want to work in Web3. That is where the top talent is going. And that's where, talent in general should be going. That's where you should be thinking. That is the next industry to come up and come out. And really, it's funny because it's going to be an industry in itself, but it's it's going to touch every other industry. So, no matter if you're not, interested in necessarily Web3, you should be thinking about it. You should be looking at it. You should be learning it, because it is coming for all industries, right? So just one last little tidbit: smart contracts, the software program behind Ethereum, NFTs, a lot of the Web3 protocols that we have, programs that we have, it's going up by 40%. By 40%, almost half. It's going up. And that's the deployment of smart contracts, right? So, as we can see right now, it is that time. It may seem scary. It may seem like the ceiling is caving in, the sky is falling. But it's what it is the debris is clearing out, the muddiness is clearing out. They're kind of hosing down the sidewalk. And so, what you're going to see is nice, clean pavement after that. And it's a matter of, are you going to start at the end of the pavement on the corner, or are you going to be halfway down the block already? So get into Web3, man. You know what it is.
And rewatch episode 9, Sean Peterson, or AKA the Sophisticated Sean, which was his name for the episode. He's been a developer for 6 years, and he gave the blueprint of how he transitioned from a traditional Web2 developer and getting into the world of becoming a Web3 developer. So for all of those who have like experience in development or coding, or are looking to gain that experience, definitely watch that episode, because he gives practical insight and he really demystifies it and shows like, hey, like once you learn these core skill sets, you can easily get into this field.
Like, steps you can take.
So definitely take a watch in there.
Episode 8, go check them out.
Most definitely. Well, yeah, man, thank you for that quick tip, brother.
I don't know how quick it was, but I had to give the people a little something since I missed last week.
Right. Don't miss no more weeks.
Hey, oh man, he's on me, y'all.
Right. So with that, let's just transition and talk about the market real quick. Because as you know, on each week we like to talk about the overall market activity, specifically within the NFT space, because that's a great indication of like how the Web3 market is moving as a whole. So within the last 7 days, total sales for NFTs have dropped by 6.18%. And we're at a total volume of sales of 43,934, right? And in addition to the drop of overall total sales, we have seen a slight decline in the value of those sales, right? A 2.78% decline to be exact. And we're seeing total sales, those 43,000 being worth 27.7 million. So once again, it's an indication of like the times we're on. We're in recessionary times, but there's still plenty of opportunity. And just like in your quick tip, like, okay, like people may be feeling a little bearish on crypto and NFTs right now.
Right.
But the people who are building, the people who are trying to make meaningful and lasting projects are increasing their activity by tenfold.
Right.
So don't ever get scared within these markets. And once again, this is not financial advice, but for like my creatives, for my entrepreneurs, for those who want to build meaningful solutions and projects, keep building, because there's a huge group of people that are currently building right now.
Yeah. And what we found from this weekend, if you're bringing value and you're meeting people where they are, there's people out there that's going to come support. There's people that's that wants to be a part. So just a matter of putting yourself out there. What we talked about before, experimenting, and keep on building.
Definitely. And I feel like that was the free game too.
That's the free game.
Yeah, man. Keep building. Value packed, everything value packed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, so I guess at this point we can end the pod because we gotta enjoy Miami. Once again, I am the Miami Mamadou.
And I am the Web3 Wayne.
Man,
we are out.
Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Yes, sir.